Hey, welcome to US 502, the podcast where we get up close and personal with the plumbers, pipe fitters, and service techs of Local 502. I'm Ryan Kleber. All right, we are live again with the next installment of US 502. Brought in Mr. JT Bagby today. He wanted to kind of rap and talk about his career so far. So, how you doing?
Doing all right. How are you?
Good. How long you been in?
Going on, so March of 14 is when I was sworn in. So I guess that makes me 12.
Yeah.
A little over 12 years in.
I remember your first day. I was out on the Luberzall job, and you came out and were working with Joey.
Yeah.
Joe Ford, Ed Pruitt.
Nervous as a wreck.
Yeah, a lot of people are around Ed. He's special.
Yeah. Definitely broke me in.
Yeah, right. He's a good dude. I learned a lot from Ed. I had fortunate enough to work with him quite a bit myself, so it was good. So tell us about your career so far.
Man, like I said, been in about 12 years. So started as metal trade over with Chardon. Was in the shop doing all that, hydroing 7 days a week, all that fun stuff, grinding a whole lot of pipe.
That was fun.
Oh yeah, did the usual start out stuff.
It's good work, and it's a good way to start. It's kind of get your feet wet, see if you actually like just kind of trade. Especially
like the basics, the fittings.
Yeah.
Just the basic essential parts of pipe fitting.
Right.
For sure.
Right.
No, it's a great place to start, really. But first made it up to the field and on that big Luberzall job back in 2014, I guess is when it was.
It was a good job. It was one of those jobs where you're on, it's like, this job sucks. But it was actually, I learned so much. And, we got to use the BIM model and the Navis Works for the first time and kind of got well versed in that. Not designing, but actually using it and how accurate it was, taking measurements off of it. And, still verifying a few things. But I was more wide open than you on my side because I had the big bins. So, it was a lot more room where you were at over in, what was that, compound?
Yeah,
Or
the main building.
The resin building.
Yeah, 41 or whatever it is.
Yeah, so that's like a lot of shit in one spot. Yeah. So.
It's probably way more stressful for you at the time too. Being a foreman, I was just first year apprentice.
True. We were all
do what I was told.
Chardon was good back then. Nick was there. Hines was still superintendent. Bader was just an apprentice.
Yeah, I was working hand in hand.
You know what I mean? So it's for all the crap he takes. That dude will work.
Yeah,
work his butt off.
There's a lot of good people on that job, man. It was a good one to get broke in on for sure.
It was. We had travelers. It was first time I've been to a lot of big jobs across the country. That was the first time I ever got that feel at home.
Yeah.
So and then to actually be responsible for portions of it was pretty cool. So
yeah, it was. Really, it was. We had PVC on that job, stainless, carbon, threaded. It was
CPVC. Yeah.
The
bevel. It was.
Yeah, there was all kinds of. Mm-hmm. It was a good job to learn some stuff on for sure.
It was.
Yeah, so did that, and then, finished out my apprenticeship with Chardon, started running work for them after I got out of my apprenticeship, and did that with them for a few years, decided to change it up a little bit, moved over to Intertech for a short little stint.
All right.
Was over there for a few months, doing the same stuff, and now I'm over at Cochran trying to help them.
How's that going?
It's going good, man. We're staying steady. We got some stuff going on, so can't complain, man.
All right.
More except more MSD, everybody's favorite place, But
somebody's got to be there.
Yeah,
somebody's gonna make that money.
At least it's all new pipe.
That's true. That is true. So,
yeah.
I think Leska's over too, right?
Oh yeah, they got all the process. So,
do they?
Yeah. Scott Phillips, TC Shop, they're over there.
Okay.
Running that portion of it.
I guess the Brawl still hangs in there a little bit. Alpha.
Yeah, they got their fair share. I think I see Alpha quite a bit. The Brawl, both of them, they're bouncing in and out.
Okay.
It's drawn out, man.
Yeah.
Walsh Construction loves to keep them projects going.
Yes, they do. Keep the checks coming in. The government money.
Yeah.
So, what's some of the crazy stuff you've ever done? Fortunately for you, you're a bigger guy, so there's not a lot of tunnel work or
Yeah, I avoided the tight spaces, but I think I was traded out for all the heavy stuff. So
yeah, that's true.
Hey, you grab the other end of that,
right?
But no, it's I've been fortunate to do, multiple different things, quite a bit of different trades and stuff. So, uh, the probably most fun I've had was, we did the GE job. I was with Chardon. It was towards the end of my tenure with them, doing the big helicopter lift there. Man, it was.
Oh yeah.
It was
Mm-hmm.
got my feet wet there. It was
Exciting
exciting.
to do a helicopter lift.
It was an exciting day, man.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was. It was one about as good as it could have gone, I guess.
There
So
you go.
you always take those.
Yeah.
Yeah. But no, I've bounced around everywhere, man. Chemical plants,
Mm-hmm.
food
Our
plants,
bread and butter, distilleries,
Yep.
schools.
Yep. Been around. Been fortunate in that aspect to kind of broaden my career.
Yeah, we do see a lot.
Yeah.
So which is good, and now you got data centers and battery plants, and it's you get to do a whole lot in this area.
Yeah. Keep it coming in, man.
I remember it was just the old timers called like a red rod local. That was just like 60-10 everything, chill water, and then it's with the distilleries and the chemical plants and all these new endeavors. It's pretty wild because we're starting to branch out a little bit. So.
Starting to lose those big 5P weaves, though, ain't we?
Yeah.
Less and less frequent on them
Yes,
job
they are.
sites.
Yes, they are. Who you got an apprentice with you?
I do. Yep.
Shout out.
Part time. So he's working on stuff. Trying to keep him in line.
All right.
That's what these young guys, man. I try to reiterate how important this short little tenure of their career. The 5 years of their apprenticeship. Just take in as much stuff as you can.
Yeah.
That, especially these guys coming down, man, they're 18 years old. You got 5 years, and then you've got to keep yourself employed for 35 more years.
You're right.
So
some of these guys never even cut grass. Like they have no clue what it is to even be hot.
yeah,
All you've been, travel ball everywhere. And I'm like, all right, now it's time to get it. You're not the star of the show anymore. So it's a rude awakening for some, but we do have some good talented prospects, I would say.
yeah, definitely. I've seen, I'm teaching down schools, so I've been fortunate to see some of the upcoming, apprentices, and there's a lot of good ones out there. It's trying to, keep some of them focused that, this is your career, man. This is not, it's not just a job.
So it's a job. You didn't want to go to college, but this is college.
Right.
This is what we do. You got to learn.
Got to learn while you're cheap, for sure.
For sure. Get all you can. When I went through the school, excuse me, the school wasn't as well. We were building 2 new buildings, which is the ones that we've outgrown now were brand new when I turned out. So we kind of was building the well booths and running some of the gases and everything in there. So, and we merged with the excuse me, we merged with the plumbers in as well. So there was a lot of chaos, and there was upheaval, and the old guard was removed from office or somewhat, and then Roger came in, coming from the school end. So it was a lot going on, and we were kind of
I guarantee it.
the lost group there.
Yeah.
So where now it's like you got to have all your certifications. Like reading wasn't even a cert. It pretty much was weld certs and OSHA.
Yeah.
It was kind of what
Yeah, no, it's definitely, you can see more and more jobs now, wanting that paperwork to back up, what you have and everything. So, yeah, especially the reading, I'm sure.
And you teach that, right?
Yep. I help teach an advanced rigging class. So I'm sure there's a few of them that aren't my biggest fan with, that, but we've got to
learn. You got to
be able to do it right.
Yeah.
You got to prove that,
Which I don't think these guys understand because I guess they haven't had to, but there was a time when we wouldn't touch anything.
Right.
And this every rigging cert has actually got us in there where we can go compete. Because before it's like, whoever had the crane, iron workers would rig and do it because they had some little, bunk rigging cert where we actually have an EPRI, which is like a, nationwide, the most advanced rigging cert I think you can get outside of like NASA or something. So,
That's where I think a lot of apprentices and people get, the misconception that, we're the ones that make, it's like, no, this is a third party, you know what I mean? Like I went and had to, get my own certification to be a proctor for this third party, it's, it's tailored to us as a trade. I know they work closely with UA and everything like that.
Right.
So, we get to use our pieces that we design and stuff, but it's a third party thing that,
And when you start flying a pipe and stuff like that. It's you can do yourself so many favors by with it being where you want it to be, orientated the way you need it to be. Where you can drop it in place. I mean, that's instead of fighting it up in the air. I mean, that's a very good tool to have in your bag.
Oh yeah, I mean, where all the eyes on a job site. If there's a crane there that day,
Everybody stops and watches.
That's what
You
they're
only
looking
ring
at
the
that
bell
day.
so many times, but it's like, all right, bring it down.
Yep.
So yeah,
So no, it's important, man, to keep the quality of things, man. It's always been a big push of mine on my job sites. Just it's what we have to sell, man. We've got to do our part and our part of the deal and put it in right the first time.
it's true.
Make it look good.
Yeah, it's got to stand the test of time
Oh yeah.
for sure. So you make the big bucks, all the cliches, but really, I mean, that's what they're paying for.
Yeah.
It's quality, safe work, efficient work. So we always gotta keep that in mind, kids. It's a big one. We don't need.
Take pride in everything you do.
Yeah,
For
sure.
sure. Tell them.
So I guess, work with a lot of different trades. I mean, you kind of
Yeah, man. I'm working with plumber now, Brad Miller.
okay.
Working hand in hand with him out there, MSD. So we got the utilities on the project, so we
All right.
plumbing involved with that and stuff. So, and throughout my whole career, man, I've worked around different trades, plumbers, service guys. I was on a 2-man crew with Chardon, so I
Yeah.
kind of bounced. I mean, you know how that goes there. You bounce around doing little odd and end things. You run into all kinds of different stuff.
This is going to sound like a Chardon, what,
Oh yeah, well it's just
homage thing, but really, like, we got to work with a bunch of different trades. Like I think I told you before, we'd be working during the week, and we'd all take break together. Where you go to other contractors, like when I go visit jobs, like well, the plumbers are over there, the fitters are here, and it's like I just felt like a Chardon generally everyone was together, which was cool. And then on weekends, it was whoever wanted to make money. So I'd be working with Kinderman and Casey Slayton and Johnny Hardesty, bending stainless tubing, all hours of the night, which you were there as well.
Yeah.
So and you get work with everyone, not just one little segment of the trade. Which is good.
and what you definitely got to we've each got our trade and everything like that, but our local represents everybody. So
Right.
you've got to you gotta they're still your brother and sister right there. So it's definitely easier to work together with everybody and all that, and yeah, no, I totally get that, being around everybody else and trying to just get that brotherhood back, man.
I'm sure the contractor would prefer everyone do every aspect of everything.
Right.
But,
Yeah.
you're just not going to have that. That's just unless you're Wade. I guess he's the only one who can literally do everything. So yeah, man.
Yeah. How's things going here?
Good. Been busy. A lot of stuff coming up. Of course, we've been on the e-board meetings, so I know y'all are pretty busy with the market recovery language.
Yeah, we meet
That's a big thing.
fairly frequently
Yeah.
anymore.
So what's just a little synopsis? I know we can't talk too much about it, but what exactly are y'all trying to?
So we're just right now, and well, I guess it's probably been going on for
Few months,
yeah.
at least all year, I would say, right?
It's been several months, I'd say, and we don't get to meet every day, obviously, or anything like that, but that language has been there for a little while, and it's
archaic.
overdue
Yeah,
for
we can
overdue for a look at it. So
facelift.
we've been taking a look at that, and with a little bit of guidance from the UA and everything. So trying to change it and make it fit to what we think this local would benefit the most from. It's been a big one on the agenda for us here lately.
Who's on the e-board with you?
So we got Eric Baum, obviously he's vice president, chairman, and then you've got Jeremy Killebrew. And, yep. You got Daryl Hooper Jr., Jason Cruz, and then myself.
All right,
I think I covered everybody, didn't
you did.
Yeah.
I always feel like I leave someone out.
I? I know, I just started counting my fingers down the table or something. Yeah.
Good. That's a good e-board.
No, I've learned it's been nice. It's always, this local's done so much for me, and that's what I can see. And I just feel like I'm in a spot now, and it's a lot of it's due to being a part of this and everything. So it's nice to be able to get in there and be that voice for people that,
Yeah.
Do what's in the best interest for everybody, man. Not just, me or specific trade or anything like that. It's,
Well, I feel like you've been involved since day one. I mean, you played ball right out the gate, so that was good.
I've been a few different things. I started, I think, the very first thing I probably started with, I sold the widows and orphans tickets. Started that when I
Okay.
was a second or third year apprentice.
All right.
Can't remember exactly what year it was, but did it for about 5 years. Then the picnic committee, I was on that as an apprentice. As soon as
Were you?
Mhm.
Okay.
I was back with Choo Choo and
Mm,
O'Kenny and
I got you.
back with them. So picking up trash cans and all that back in the day, but
Those were the good picnics, right?
yeah, it's a good time. So
Hmm.
and then I've been on a bylaw committee the last time that was right when I turned out.
That's right.
So I did that with lucky enough Joe appointed me for that position. So I did that, and then I ran for the examining board. Did 3 years on that.
So, I'm sure a lot of people who aren't on the examining board, what does that entail of? Like,
So it's you get all the applicants of your provisionals that are trying to come in, or the metal trades.
Mhm.
And I'd have to have that sheet. I mean, there's like 500 different classifications that we can be, I feel like, but those different outside of your standard apprenticeship, guys.
because I feel like a lot of them are already working when they come in. So I always found it kind of redundant to come in after you're already working to essentially apply.
Yeah, I mean, and it's
Sorry.
a lot of, luckily a lot of the people, the school, they vet, and do their stuff on them before they even come to the examining board most of the time. So they make sure they have all their classes they need. And
Now that's good.
Yeah.
For, like you need to see the e-board, the examining board before you get upgraded.
Yeah.
But like a lot of metal trades, they'll be working 2 months and then they'll show up like, hey, I'm a metal trade. And it's like,
Yeah.
it just depends on when they start versus when the next e-board meeting was. So.
Yeah, I think there was only, there's not very many. Like I said, most people come in, they got their best face on.
Of course.
It's an interview, and they got all their credentials and everything. And I think maybe 1 or 2 was the only 2 that we actually had to turn away. When it was
Really?
like, where it was like, man, and it's the betterment of them and our, you know what I mean? It's like, but pretty much everybody else, man, it's, they were more than capable of doing the metal trade stuff and all that, you know what I mean? But especially the guys that come in sandblasting for Globe and stuff. Yeah. What shocked me was when you'd interview some of them and they'd, like, what do you want to do after this? It's like, oh, I'm pretty good.
I'm happy where I'm at. Some people are. Hey, the world needs those people too. You know what I mean? And you get good at sandblasting. Like, I'm not that person. But
Right. It's just
some
hard to
people
comprehend.
just like to zone out and,
Wear a hot suit all day, I guess. Yeah, no, it's, but so you review applications for people that are coming in, and then you'll review applicants. You'll interview those usually the following month.
Gotcha.
And then they come in and do all that, and usually the following month, if their interview goes well and everything, and obviously they need to show up and actually interview, then we'd recommend that they be sworn in or whatever the following month. And then we talked about that. Other interviews you would do would be that final upgrade for some of these provisionals. Once they have their
journeyman,
their stuff. And, I mean, it was nice to get in here and be a part of something.
Yeah.
It was
Get your feet wet.
Get my feet wet with that. Wasn't bad at all. Man. I enjoyed my time with it. I had Matt Harry and Rick Schroeder and Justin Windler and John Jones. Myself at the time during that, so some good people in there.
It was a good group.
Yeah, it was definitely it was a good part of my career there.
Yeah, for sure.
But now I'm on the executive board doing that, enjoying it so far.
So you do trials at the executive board. Like, give the body kind of an idea of what a trial consists of.
So
someone
trial
charges off on someone.
Yeah. So generally, a member can bring up they can file charges on
Anything?
what I've seen. It's, remember, for a whole lot of the time, it's somebody starting a non-signatory contractor,
Right.
And owning and operating one of those, competing against, what we do and all that. That's a whole lot of it. And a lot of them feel,
Because I know we generally get an opportunity like, hey, sign the contract, and all this goes away.
yeah, I mean, it's, there's definitely a little bit of grace there, which you have to have as, a startup company, I feel like. But, we want to know that you're, that's the goal, right?
Over to the good side, yeah.
Once you decide that you're willing to take that risk and go off and do your own thing, you know what I mean? That's kind of when it ends up in our hands. And I don't think I've had a trial where anybody's actually showed up.
I was going to ask you, do any of the quote unquote defendants actually?
No, it's usually, I can't imagine too many scenarios where they would actually show up, and they get reached, they reach out to them beforehand to try to make sure that they are and stuff. But we still do our due diligence. I mean, we give them the half hour that they get, and we run it just like we would have, if they were sitting right there and all of that. But so those are a lot of the trials that we get is people starting their own stuff and showing no interest in being a part of that, which we'll do our trial, and it usually ends with an expulsion from the local, or from the UA. Sorry, not just the local. It follows you around the country, and a fine of some sort. Just
to come back.
Right, to come back, and that also follows you.
It's all about the money.
The country.
Yeah.
Yeah. Which, I mean, I guess you don't want to train somebody for 5 years and then let them go.
I get it.
Take off and take everything we just taught them.
It's true. That's true.
Yeah. Those come every few months. I mean, it's I feel like it comes in waves.
We've had a couple this year.
Yeah, here lately it's like you do 2 or 3 at a time. Wait a couple months and then another 1 or 2 pops up.
I feel like it's like provisionals we brought in here recently.
Yeah.
I mean, we have had a guy come all the way to the apprenticeship, actually go represent us in Ann Arbor, make it to the championship, and then start his own company. And it's like, bro, that's rare. But
yeah, that's a one-off.
It was unfortunate.
Yeah, I don't understand it, but that's the way they view it, I guess.
To each their own.
Yep. But we do the trials with the executive board, and then we listen to y'all's reports of what's been going on throughout the month and everything like that.
We checks and balances to make sure we're not just sitting around watching TikTok all day.
Yeah, I get to pester y'all with questions.
Fair enough. Yeah.
Do all that.
Yeah. Is there anything you've learned about our reports? Like, anything stood out? I should preface that first. I'm on the spot.
Yeah, no, it's. I mean, I feel like I've learned a lot of just the kind of the operations of, of how much goes into everything. I feel like it's been, I feel like a lot of people think they know, you know what I mean, and then you really get into it, and it's, there's a lot of stuff y'all do that, most people don't even pay enough attention during the meeting to listen to what y'all's report says you're doing. That
I hear you.
Pulls y'all probably 100 different directions, especially here lately with all the work we've been having and everything.
All the work, yeah. I didn't know I was going to be a counselor either.
Yeah.
I started, financial, marriage, like there's a lot of advice hopefully good advice. But, I care a lot about everyone, so I want to see everyone do good, because the better everyone does, the better we all do. And it's just, the name of the game,
Yeah.
So.
I think you've done a good job with that, man. I mean, had plenty of good reports from there. But yeah, no. What else we got going on? School. It's coming up, ain't it?
Yeah, it starts 14th, I think.
Yeah. This year starts.
So it starts right after Ann Arbor.
Was the 19th?
Okay.
Or 18th, and I don't know. It's one of them. Yep.
So what's Ann Arbor? Like, what do y'all do up there? For people that don't, because you're going this year, right?
I am going, yes.
How many years have you got in?
This will be my 3rd year going to Ann Arbor.
And you need 5 to
graduate.
Yeah.
So it's a good time, but you are busy when you go up there. It's
40 hours.
Yeah, it's you've got homework you've got to do. You've got, class at 7 a.m. in the morning, and it's not just going up there and party all day and all night. It's you got to apply yourself, and you learn a whole lot of things, man. I took public speaking up there, and some teaching and planning classes, and did my reading stuff, of course, up there.
Okay.
So it's and you're surrounded by thousands of different other people that do the exact same thing as you do, which is nice. You
Yeah.
get to have some conversations and kind of hear what other people are experiencing around the country. And
It's like the educational version of the UA softball tournament.
yeah,
Because really, every local is something you have to
Yeah.
if you want to get keep your instructors credited. So
there's probably the same amount of pins getting tossed around up there. Yeah,
except it's
guys.
adults badgering you instead of kids.
Yeah,
It's hilarious,
the wall of traders that you got to walk through to get to class,
right?
But
It's almost like you got to have a pin to get in.
yeah,
Yeah,
better hope they ain't got it either.
right. Need your other pin.
Yeah.
But it's fun. Us as agents, we go up for
Yeah.
a couple of days, and we go to Industry Day, which is cool because that's all the new tools and everything. Usually, the big man gives a speech. It usually goes, I think. And then if anyone I know is graduating, I always try to hang around that Thursday. And
Which Sanford Hack, he'll be graduating this year.
Sandman graduates.
Oh yeah,
Love that guy.
yeah, man, he's good people there. But
He's a sweet man. And I don't mean that in like a homo. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
he's just a very nice gentleman. He's just a good dude. You know what I mean?
no, I've
Like, he
enjoyed
give you the
pretty
shirt
much
off
every
his back.
conversation that I've had with him. So it's but yeah, you're in class all day though, and you go, and it's depending on what you got. Like I said, your night at the hotel can be crammed in sometimes. By the time you find something to eat, and then get back and try to do whatever you got to do for your class and
Right.
all that. But
Because I think y'all start at 8. Is it 8 in the morning or 7?
I think it's 7.
I think it is 7. So there's no,
Yeah, they don't.
or if you're going to,
Ain't no being late already.
you got to get up.
Yeah,
You got to be ready to go.
It's you got to be on your stuff there in the
Mhm.
mornings. Van leaves. It's a long walk to campus.
True. And y'all drive up? You still rent the 2 vans?
Yeah.
Nice.
Yep.
It's fun.
Yeah, I'll be driving one of them this year. So
Will you?
yeah, we got full vans this year. So you talk about the apprenticeship growing, man. So obviously we've got a few more instructors that got to get up
We
there.
got 2,700 people. So we've been working on how many people are going to the convention. So, of course, I guess we can segue into that. So this next August 6th, I think, the first Wednesday of August, we're having a nominations meeting.
Yep.
Obviously for Elsie's replacement, I've said that on here before, but then also for the delegates.
Oh, yeah.
And so there'll be 27 spots because there's 2,700 people. Now the full-time officers go, so Scott, Eric, myself, Ken will go, but that leaves 23 spots.
Yeah, I can imagine it's going to be a crowded ballot. I guess is.
You gonna go?
Oh yeah.
Didn't you win last time?
I did not. So
Oh.
I was the alternate. I was the last man or first man out, whatever you want to call it. And
I've been that.
I got the phone call to go.
Did you?
But it was a little too close to when the plane was leaving for me to be able to really
I
pull
thought
it
so.
off.
And that's how AJ got it, right?
No, he actually made it. I mean, he had a couple more votes than me.
Okay.
So I was right there on the line whenever. He might have been that last. Been a few years. What are we going? This almost be 5 years now, I guess.
Going on 5 years, yeah.
Yeah.
So he's a mess. Took him to the Top Gun bar because it's in San Diego.
Yeah.
He did just like Top Gun. He got on the back of some dude's bike and held him, and they rode down the runway together. That was pretty. I love that dude.
Yeah.
That's my buddy.
Yeah, no, I'm hoping that I'm fortunate enough to be able to go this time, man. And
It's a
kind of
40-hour union meeting.
yeah, no,
It's legit. It's intense, and it's like the Oscars. I mean, the pageantry and the choreography and the sound, the music. I mean, it's like you come walking in at 7 a.m. Maybe or maybe not. A little cobwebby from whatever.
Yeah.
And you got the Milwaukee band playing literally right there. Like full on. Hair, makeup. Like I don't know what time they got there. They probably never even went to bed. And
Right.
they're just jamming,
so you don't need no coffee, is what you're saying.
just getting. I mean, and it's loud. As soon as you walk in, it's like, oh my god, like, it's just loud, and they're ready to go. And the Harley, the engine revving the whole time, and the screen is probably a football field long. I mean, I don't know how much money goes into that, but it is
Shut.
insane. And I heard behind the screen is even more intense because it's like literally like presenters are running through. I mean, it's a scene. It's pretty wild. And we all sit at our table, and of course we vote on amendments to the Constitution, resolutions, anything wants to bring up. They also vote on the new general president and his team, which, as far as I know, I think Williams is going to run against Mark and his team. So 5 more years of them, Mark and Mike. So I mean, it's going to be a good time. It's fun, and you learn a lot, and you get to vote on some stuff. So I missed the one where they voted on the 4th and 5th year apprentices being able to vote in elections,
having the voice.
Yeah, so I heard there was a lot of discussion on that one.
I could imagine. Yeah,
a lot of old heads were like, hell no, and some of the young people were like, oh, it depends on where you're from and how much participation by your veterans you have. Because I've noticed some locals, like up north, mainly northwestish, they wanted to put an amendment in where 4th or 5th year could run for recording secretary because they couldn't get anyone to do that job.
Yeah.
So they're like, the young people, because they'll do it. And of course, they got voted down because it was like, all right, well, that's not, next thing you know, it's like, well, if you can run for recording secretary, why can't you run for business manager? I mean, a lot of the old guys are like, hold on now.
Right.
This is getting out of hand.
Yeah.
But, I mean, I can imagine it won't be coming eventually.
No, I'm definitely hoping to be able to make it this time, man, and kind of be a little bit of representation on the national stage.
Mm-hmm. It's good. It's fun. You like it.
Oh, yeah. What else we got going on? Oh, what you want to talk about? Anything good? I got this is my first podcast, you know what I mean? So I'm trying to.
This is my 12th. I'm still struggling to.
I did watch the first one though, man. You seem to be doing way better than.
It's better when you can sit here with someone and talk. But when you're looking at, it's like FaceTime. You ever done a FaceTime?
Yeah.
Like, I should probably say it, a FaceTime with your phone. You know what I mean? With when you're talking to someone, you always feel like you're looking at yourself the whole time.
Yeah.
So when Eric and I used to do it on the computer, I'm talking to him, but I feel like I'm staring at myself the whole time too. You can actually sit with him and you get all that stuff too, which is nice.
It's make the blooper reel for this year.
The blooper reel, yeah, you get all that good stuff.
Set people up for disaster, man.
We need to get a new chair. That's Scott's old chair, and I think the springs might be shot.
Yeah, just probably a little wore out. Yeah.
Yeah. Jack took a spill the other day.
Oh.
Yeah. All right. Well,
no,
you feel good about it. It's good. I really want to get members in too. I know we've been bringing a lot of Nick, like coordinators, organizers, but and we're still kind of doing with elected officers with the executive board and stuff. But I would like to reach out to any member that wants to come in and talk. Like, please, just if you got something on your mind, even if it's something don't have to be agreeable. We can talk about whatever, because this is a long form conversation where we can sit down and actually have a nice debate. I'm not trying to have a big fight here, but I mean we can just talk about stuff and So people reach out and want to come, hang out, and instead of just I wish I'd tell him when I saw him, like, well, come on in, let's talk about it.
Yeah,
let's do it.
Yeah, no, this is it's pretty neat, man. Like I said, I've watched some of the episodes and everything, man. It's excited to see this grow into something. It seems like it's already made some improvements around here.
We got the lighting now. We got
the fancy mics.
I put this brick in myself. Actually, I didn't. That'd be scary. I got a mason to come in and put this brick in. So.
Yeah, it's totally real.
Yeah. Yeah, right.
Yeah. No, it's I feel like it was something else we were going to talk about, man. I can't remember exactly what it was, but so.
Well, I guess it just means you got to come back.
Yeah. No, I'll be back. Let my feet wet this time. So
yeah, cool.
I'm around here enough. I'll stop in and we'll do another episode of something. Hopefully, we have something going on where we can talk about.
Yeah, and encourage
something a little more.
People on the job to come in and talk. Maybe I'll get Curtis in here one day to because him and I turned out together, so that'd be, we've come a long way. So
Yeah, no, get the different perspective
yeah,
from the other side there.
for sure.
No, it's don't be shy. Come on out, get on the microphone.
And come on out and be a part. So there's, like we were talking about, there's some elections coming up. Not just delegate, but there's trustee spots, alternate, but you actually get to sit in and listen to me, bitch about health insurance for 2 hours.
Yeah.
Which is why I'm an alternate. Scott won't let me vote. So
no, I think it's a good thing really to have members in there that it's just transparency. To me
it's good. At first when he said it, I even told him, I'm like, I don't feel like it's a sacred position that you have to earn, but also like the body should be able to kind of, you can't live stream it obviously because a lot of stuff goes on there that
right, yeah,
a lot of personal stuff, but it would be nice to have another representative that's outside of the everyday life of the hall. Like, hey man, he's just, believe it or not, these guys are fighting for you. Believe it or not, every time we come in there for a meeting, they hey, it's going to be another quarter every year, and it's like, well, oh yeah, that just can't be the answer every time we sit down. Is that you just throw more money at it? Because I've never seen that fix anything.
No, and I can imagine the people on the opposite side that are wanting the money. It's they want that extra cushion that they want. They all need and everything like that.
Oh yeah, the actuaries and the representatives, oh, they definitely want it. It's more to play with. But I'm like, in their defense, a lot of the low hanging fruit's been clipped. You know what I mean? Like, there's only so much we can do, and now we can start getting into, raising deductibles. Nobody wants to do that. Raising the amount of hours to get a quarter.
Yeah. Which
is $375 now. Other locals are $400. We could take it to to be splitting with $385. What kind of break does that give us on what it costs?
Yeah.
Because there's a number, and I think this is where some of the confusion. Actually, this would be a good topic, real quick, if you got time.
Yeah.
So you were in, obviously, on the e-board. We were talking about the division of money, and of course, we went into the retiree subsidy, which is, there's already a retiree subsidy set up for that, but this also would cover their out-of-pocket expense. So, so as of right now, that's kind of what it's doing with the 65 and older with the Medicare people. So, if you're single and on Medicare, you've got to pay $300 a month, and I think it goes to $500 and $900 for 1 in, 1 out. So there's different stages, and we're trying to get that covered.
Yeah,
especially for the older people, because with the rules at the pension, you can't do anything. You work your whole career, and you're like, all right, you can go greet people at Walmart. Well, I'd rather.
Yeah, those pension checks aren't as nice as when they first started.
Well, even if you're like, man, I got $6,000, this is great, and then right off the jump, insurance is like, well, you need $1,200, and that's after we cover, 87 cents of it already covers of everyone's hour worked, covers that to make it only $1,200. Those for them, and then. Uncle Sam's going to get his cut always. And then if you're going to leave some to your spouse, well, there's another, $900. So it's like, man, I thought I had $6,000 a month to play with. Now I'm at like $2,800.
Yeah, it goes away fast. It's obviously, during the meeting and everything, I was a big advocate for the retirees and making sure that, that was something we could do to, once it was brought up to us on the executive board and everything, it was, I was all for it,
I know the younger guys don't understand that as much, but maybe they've had the luxury. And honestly, it's kids teaching kids here lately. You got 4th and 5th year apprentices with 1st year apprentices, so it's not like when you and I came through where you had. I had Joe Ford, you had Joe Ford. Yeah. Which is crazy that he literally was the beginning of both of us. But the Ed Pruitts, Charlie Porters, Charlie Spars. I can name 500 guys I work with all the time. I'm sure you can too that are retired now. But taught you a lot, taught you how to do things the right way. But they weren't, pricks either, and they weren't, sticks in the mud. You could have fun and be efficient on a job. It doesn't have to be,
one or the other.
Yeah.
No, it's a high cost, and I'm glad it worked out the way it did. So hopefully we can continue to bring that number down even more eventually, and I'm sure it'll take a while.
Well, I got a podcast scheduled with Proactive. Stacy's going to come over here soon, and we'll talk about the wellness center and trends of the local. And there's when it comes to health, we're our own worst enemy in a lot of areas.
Oh yeah.
The dirty little secret is 70% of the local is obese. 69% of spouses are obese, and it's like, well, you don't need to be a brain surgeon to guess what the children are. So I mean, it's like we got to do something here, boys.
Yeah.
Girls. I mean, we got to tighten up a little bit because that is, diabetes. When you're on forever medicine, that big pharma just lifetime customer.
Yeah, them and insurance, man. They both love money more than they love helping you out. I think
They really don't. I mean, it's ridiculous. So it's the world's gone crazy. I mean, it's like because everything's run by boards, and even when we sit here as a trustee committee, it's like people are like, man, I got to have this for this and this, and it's like, well, you want to help them out, but then the lawyers are like, well, if you do that, now you're opening yourself up to it's like amending, the rules for everyone. So now everybody can get this thing. Well, it's great to help one person out, but once the whole Me Too comes, it's like, all right, well now everyone wants it, and we then bankrupt the insurance, or it costs you next year you go up another 50 cents.
Yeah, not near as easy as just like, do we cover
And it sucks.
this part or not? There's a lot of moving parts for sure.
I guarantee you about we need to make more money and spend less. We make more, bring in more money and spend less. It's a hard line to ride without being cruel. But if everyone did their best to take care of themselves, it would be an easier line to ride.
Yeah.
You wouldn't not everyone's on the verge of some sort of catastrophe.
Right. Which, speaking about taking care of the new hall, it's going to have a gym, right?
Yeah.
The school, is it going to be in the school, or is it going to be? Is that coming with the school, or is it?
No, it's not coming to school. So,
gotcha.
Apprentices who are late all the time are going to have to flip a tire to get back in the building.
Oh yeah.
They want their credit back, so that'll be one.
Start from one end to
Yeah.
the other.
But that was Scott's plan. Is that he really wants a gym. Of course, I'm all for that. Because I go to the gym every morning, so it'd be nice to just come here and do it. And
Yeah.
I have to go. So, but it's great, and I can't think of a better way to start the day. Which we start at 8. I get it. It's a little easier for me to do that because as opposed to being somewhere at 6 a.m. or 7. So I do empathize with people, because then it's hard to go after too. I mean, it's you have to make yourself do it.
Yeah, it's been a little bit since I've been in the gym,
But you look good. You lost a lot of weight.
It's a few pounds, yeah. So trying to, take care of myself a little better than I have been. But
so what'd you do to your diet? Because I know you had, I don't know, just hip up. I know you had gout for a minute. I mean,
no, it's it's the
I can edit that out.
no, I slowed the drinking way down. You know what I mean, and decided to take care of myself in that. Obviously, gout doesn't help with that, and all the other little things it probably doesn't help a whole lot with. So slowed that down some, and just been doing intermittent fasting. I mean, my wife's been.
That's good. She looked good the other day.
Yeah, she's been doing she's been doing her own thing, so I'm just trying to keep up with her a little bit.
That's good. When one spouse is dedicated to something more often than not, the other one, just kind of, especially if it works.
Yeah,
See it working. You know what I mean? So that's good.
It's I felt better for sure. So that's good news always.
Yeah, man.
Keep going that direction.
Get plenty of sleep, get plenty of water, and that's 2 big keys.
Sometimes hard to do, but yeah.
So I didn't slow down on the drinking, but I did everything else right.
Oh yeah.
So it's like, all right, I'm sacrificing everything else so I can have 1 glass of bourbon.
Yeah.
It feels so good to eat your lips. It's just amazing.
I don't know we're bourbon capital of the world, but I've never been a major bourbon drinker.
I'm just helping out.
You know my father-in-law.
Yeah. Oh yes.
Yeah.
Oh man. You start talking to him about bourbon, you're better blocking our out.
Yeah.
We're going down a rabbit hole.
He's tried a few times to explain to me the different tastes and everything, and it's either hot or not for me. It's
I hate to say that. Sorry, Kevin, but it's like him and I talking. I'm like, oh yeah, but unless it's like a distinct flavor, it's either hot or not.
Yeah,
it's either smooth or not.
Yeah, I can agree with that. But it's you start calling out flavors. It's which I don't sip on it slow enough to really taste it too long. It's.
We have a note of amber and a note of vanilla. I'm like, just put some Sprite in it. Let's go.
Yeah, let's dilute it with something. But yeah, is the medical center, is that going to be with the new school?
That'll be over with us. We're going to have. Hopefully, we can do a little more with that. with the wellness centers. I think it's a good thing. I think we do need to get more people here, obviously.
That's
But
a way to offset the cost too, I'd imagine. Yeah. I'm sure it costs money to run, but
it does. It's like having, like a lawyer on retainer or a mechanic shop on retainer. It's like you're going to pay the upfront cost for the building and the mechanics, but you can just drive in and get it done because all you're doing is paying their salary now. You know what I mean? As opposed to not doing that and then outsourcing it every single time. And we noticed the savings, and then they catch a lot of people going to meetings, and it's like, hey, you check your blood pressure, and I'm like, well, he's been drinking in the parking lot for 2 hours, so I'm sure it's going to be shit, but let's do it. But it gets them in, and then they go and get a blood panel, which I tell everyone the blood panel over there is fantastic. I mean, you'll get like 18 sheets of just every single thing, but insurance, if you do it, doesn't do all that. You know what I mean? You get like 6 or 7 tests. They just check, just the comprehensive one, the one where you can look down and be like, oh, this is where that cheeseburger I ate last week did.
Yeah.
And not something triglycerides that measure stuff 2 weeks up, 2 weeks. It's just all kinds of levels. Your fasted levels, but they know it's pretty wild. You can actually start to build a road back. You know what I mean? Like, all right, I need to tighten some things up here. Cholesterol is a little out of whack. And when you get it dialed in, you feel way better.
Yeah. No, it's something, and I think it's just how men are wired too, man. A lot is, pushing. That's what I did. I pushed it off for so long, and then it's, it gets to a point where it's like, all right, well, I got to go see somebody about something,
It sucks. You're almost admitting defeat. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then you're vulnerable. It's like, you're just sitting there on a stool, which I hate when feet are dangling, and it's like, the guy comes in, and it's like,
no, it's definitely not comfortable, but I guess it's nice, here where you can at least build a relationship with the people that are over there, and hopefully make it a little bit more comfortable.
Well, that's what, Stacey and I were talking about today. Is like, she's an advocate, and you can use her and call her, and she'll do her best. Like right now, I've had a shoulder issue, so I'm to the point now where I just like shoot her a text and like, hey, can I get an MRI? She's like, yeah, let me talk to Dr. Manier. So I'll go see him Friday, and he set me up for it. So,
helps when you're taking care of a whole lot less people, I guess, than a normal doctor where they got who knows how many
they're
patients.
there, for us. And he actually has another, off-site office that he does.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So that's right. Remember I told you that PRP in my shoulder?
Yeah.
Is that right? PRP?
Yeah.
Platelet replacement.
Platelet-rich plasma.
Platelet-rich plasma. Yeah, which is pretty wild.
Yeah.
They spin your blood and get the platelets out and they inject it back in there with a freaking horse needle. That part sucked, but
I wasn't looking when they did mine.
blood everywhere. Yeah.
It was going to my knee, and I was like, oh gosh. Yeah. So it was a little too big of a needle for me to watch it.
I don't want to look like, isn't that the needle used to draw shit out of? It's like put stuff back in.
Yeah. It looks about 8 inches long when it's coming at you.
Right.
Sure.
Yeah. Very intimidating.
But no, that's cool. So I guess, obviously we still got a while for the school to be built, but is the plan, I guess, to keep that open?
Yeah.
I guess until the hall, because the hall is going to follow the school. So
once the school gets rolling, we can actually get that ball moving. Then we can start, designing. The hall itself is not going to have that much. You know what I mean?
Mm-hmm.
Like the school has, it's got to be rated a certain amount. You know what I mean? Because there's 2 levels, and then there's classrooms, and there's all the stuff that comes with it, and all the intricacies with all that. Where we'll just have essentially an office building. You know what I mean? Because the school's not going to be there, so it's not as
But that would be where the wellness center is going to be, is the hall.
And it'll be like, and we may just do like a little 2 annexes, like like an L, and have like the wellness center, gym right there, and then like the hall over here with an auditorium.
I've seen some of the prints, but it's been a while since I've seen them. I'm sure they've changed probably a little bit here and there.
We just had a meeting 2 days ago, I think.
Mm-hmm.
Today. Yeah. So we're kind of finalizing a few things with all the mechanical, electrical. So, and it's out for, it's not out for bid, but they're doing a couple of GCs are running the budget for us. So they'll let us know exactly what we need, and hopefully we can just keep stacking money,
The thing paid off.
Get paid off. There's, which we talk about, the 5% that comes in, plus the quarter that's designated to it. Like, you can take a lot of that 5%, and roll it into the building fund to cover that.
Yeah.
Because the more you pay up front, the less you have to borrow. You know what I mean? And of course, the more you have to borrow, even if it's 6%. I mean, 6% on $20 million.
That's a lot of money.
Shit, man. You know, like,
Yeah. No, that interests
They do
you. You don't get
things
nothing for that.
no.
So it's hopefully we can find a path to get that thing paid off, sooner rather than later. And
Sooner rather than later, because, Scott already said the plan is once the building is paid off and the building fund goes back to the members, so there's 75 cents, they can roll.
the quicker we get that paid off, the quicker we
They
get.
can roll over. I don't know if they roll a check or two roll, but either way, it's less. You need a quarter for insurance. It's nice to just take it and roll it in house.
Yeah, I'm sure they're going to want
your
it.
next raise instead of So either way,
Yeah, no, it's yeah. Hopefully we can find a way. It seems we already got close to 4 million in there.
Yeah.
So I mean, we're definitely on our way there.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, I can imagine it's going to be it'd be nice though, man. Hopefully it's something we can, like we've talked about, be a forever home.
Well, every time what we've noticed is like just that I've noticed since I've been in 8 years is that whoever gets the big job, like Pittsburgh, shortly after they get the big hall school. You know what I mean? It's like whoever gets the Super Bowl gets an upgrade to their downtown. It's the new stadium. You know what I mean? Like you get the new stadium, you get the Super Bowl, everything's paid off. So us, it's like you get the big job, you put that money, all that extra money,
Yeah, I mean, what are we at? Over 20 million now for total assets. So
yeah.
I mean, it's been growing pretty steady here lately. So
It's been moving. A lot of
it helps when you got. Yeah, I was gonna say it helps when you're doubling your man
man
hours.
Yeah, and really, we don't have as many travelers. Very few travelers in town now, but still getting right around the same amount of man hours.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, because we got. I mean, it's big work. You got. I think the LAP shutdown that's coming up soon, right?
December,
December.
and they're going to retool completely, gut and retool, which would be a big job. Of course, they're saying they don't need that many people, but I don't know if they just throw that number out because they don't even know what vehicles coming in. There's still an NDA on it.
Really?
Yeah. So we thought it was the Maverick, the electric Maverick, which we thought that would ever be something people want.
Yeah.
A Maverick alone and an electric one, but whatever. I'm sure there's
Somebody out there that likes them.
somebody out there. Yeah, I just don't know enough to retool a whole plant. That might be like a niche vehicle or something.
I
But
still can't figure out who's buying all the F-250s that come off every 5 seconds off the line. But
a lot of people in Montana, I think. Yeah,
they keep building them, but
that
like,
range.
golly, I'd like one of them. Yeah, sure.
Right, they're beautiful. Ken's got one. It's nice.
Yeah.
Yeah,
I think, yeah.
it's sharp. So,
Yeah. No, it's.
wait, man, it's been a pleasure. We had what's our run time? Going on 50 minutes. So
Oh, we made it.
might be the
Made it a
longest
little
pod
bit,
yet.
huh?
Yeah,
Huh?
probably headed out a few things, but either way, we'll be good.
Yeah, no. No, this was cool. Like I said, get my feet wet here. And hopefully I'll be back. And
Cool,
we can talk some more, something else,
Yeah.
whatever.
for sure.
I'm down for whatever, man. I'm always available. I do want to close off again. I don't want to talk about it too much, but thanking the membership for the stuff our family's gone through here lately. My nephew Kevin Clark's grandson and Brandon Nicklin's nephew. Also Artie Taylor. He's related to the family. So it affected a few of our members for sure, and it showed how much support people reached out and some of the donations people have made and everything. Which after this, I'm actually headed to Salt River Brewing Company. They're doing a benefit for Beckham
That's cool.
tonight, so
All right.
they're going to have a band there tonight and silent auction and everything like that. So
All right.
we're headed there 6:30 to 9:30.
Be a good time.
Oh yeah,
All right.
good to go.
Celebration life was nice. It was good.
Yeah, there was a
Very
lot of.
upbeat. It was good.
It was very crowded. It was.
It was. There was a lot of people there.
There was a lot of support from a lot of different people. It was an old high school high school reunion for me. It felt like, but for all the wrong reason,
Yeah.
But
I knew all kinds of people there. I had cousins there. I'm like, what are you doing here? What are you doing here? I'm like,
yeah,
it's crazy.
no, it was. Like I said, it's locals. Pretty close to family for me, and it's nice to hear from a lot of people that I've been around and everything, reach out and all that. So
That's good.
it's I appreciate it very
Stuff
much.
when it matters. Yeah. Thanks everyone for
Yeah.
all your thoughts and prayers and everything. It was a tough time for the family. So
Well, cool, man.
All right.
Call that it.
Let's do it.
Let's do it, man.
All right, buddy.
I appreciate it.
Yes, sir, man. Thank you.